Hey, Business Calc Stirp here. So this is the second page. Um, and your calculator does an awful lot for this type of thing. So this is kind of a, in a math dorky way, a fun thing to do, especially because hopefully you hang on to these calculators because this calculator portion will do many things for you. So let's take a look at this next question. So suppose a recent college graduate's job allows her to deposit $1,000 at the end of each month. So 100 per month to a retirement plan that earns 9%, compounded monthly. So monthly. Okay. This plan continues for 8 years before the obligations. So it goes for 8 years doing this exact same plan. And then it became impossible for her to deposit anymore. But she remains in the plan for 15 years without any more deposits. So 15 more years, putting nothing in. Um, how much will she have in the account after 23 years? Okay, so 23 years total. Okay, so I think we should be able to handle this on the calculator pretty well. You remember it's going to be under the apps, under finance. It's the Tvm Solver. And so, a few things. So she is going to, we're going to take care of this for 8 years. So 8 times 12. 8 times 12 is what? Is that 96? Okay, so there's going to be 96 payments that she's going to make into this account. Okay, so 96 here. She's going to earn 9% interest. Her present value is nothing, but she is going to do 100. Remember, we're going to have that negative out in front because that's what she's paying out, negative 100. Oops. And I guess if we flip-flop, it doesn't really matter. Negative 100. And her final, let's see, it's going to be compounded 12 times a year. So again, when you arrow your C/Y will change. And so I'm going to clear out, so our final value is going to be alpha solve. So that means after she has invested for those 8 years, she's going to get have $13,985.61 or 62 cents. Okay, so now we are going to move up to the present value, 13,985.62. Okay, and she's not investing anymore, but it is compounding every month for the next let's see, 15, so 12 times 15, let's do that math. 15 times 12, so there's what is that going to be? That's going to be 30, 120, so 150 more payments that she, or times it's going to compound. So that's going to be my end value now, 150. It's still earning the 9%. The present value is 13,900. We're not going to put anything into it, into the payment. And now I want to find the final value. Okay, so again, I'm going to go second solve. And so she would have, after the 23 years, she would have $42,898.29 in this account. So, and these types of accounts often happen. This becomes the forgotten money, and you forget about it because you're like, I had done this. You got real busy with life. You had kids, got married, all those kind of things. And you had forgotten about some account. And then years after things settle down, once you figure out the new routine, having a family or whatever, you're like, oh, wow, I forgot I was even investing in that account from a job 2 jobs ago. And all of a sudden you see that statement and you're like, dude, it made a lot more money. So that's kind of a gig. So a lot of times you would start some sort of financial plan and you forget about it. And you stop putting into it because you leave the job before it ever takes place. But that money continues to grow. It's your money. And a lot of times there is missing money that people forget about. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But you know, good thing is now everything's on computer. As long as our networks don't change, you can take a look. That's one of the reasons when you have a financial advisor, you are able to um, kind of keep tabs on what your money's doing, which is great. This next one says Patty deposited $2,000 at the end of each year for 5 years. So her N is going to be 5 years. She qualify for an IRA. If she leaves the money in that IRA for 25 more years, how much will our account be worth at the end of a 30-year period of time? Um, and it's compounded annually. So 9% and compounded annually. Um, it'll be, once. So we can go ahead and plug that in to our calculator, see how that goes. So she is plugging $5 or her money in $2,000 at the every 5 years. So that N is the number of payments. So she had 5 payments. She earned 9%, so we're still good there. Okay. Present value, we're going to say it's at 0 because she's going to start it. We do have a payment of 2,000. Remember, we're making that negative because that's money that's leaving her pocket. And it's compounded, or future value will be 0, but it's compounded payments per year. It's compounded once a year, so that becomes 1. So when you arrow up C/Y. So we're going to change our future value. We're not going to know that. And we're going to go to alpha solve. And so that would tell her that at the end of 5 years, she has $11,969.42. Okay. So now she is going to um, continue to grow this, but she's not putting any more money in. So N is the number of payments. She's not going to do any payments. She's going to earn the 9% still. Her present value is 11,969.42. Her payment has become 0 now. We're going to figure out that future value. And then payments the payments per year is 1. This should have been, N should have been 25 because you have 25 more years that it's compounding. All right, so now let's figure out what her future value is, even though she didn't work at all, or she didn't put anything into it. So her 11,969 after 5 years, and then tag another 25 years in, is going to become, let's see, alpha solve. Oh, wow. So her 11,000 just sitting there, so roughly $12,000 just sitting there, becomes $103,213.27. Wow. Okay, so let's write that value down. So 103,213, 103,213.27. So that's what Patty will have. All right, now it's going to talk about Patty's husband. He delayed his starting for the first 10 years he worked, so we're not doing anything. But then he made $2,000 deposits for 15 years, and the interest rate was 9%, and it was compounded annually. Okay, so we're going to do, if he leaves the money in the account for an additional 5 years. Okay, so he didn't put anything for 10 years, which we're not counting that. He's doing 2,000 a year for 15 years at 9%, and then he's going to do 5 more years on that money. Okay, so we can go ahead and do this. Plug her in. So let's see, was that also 30-year period. Okay. So we're not really worried about the 30 years because he technically didn't do anything for 10 years. So he's only investing 20 years. But, you know, 10 years from now, he started investing. 15-year interest compounded annually. Okay, the annual. Okay, so good. Okay, so I just lost train of thought. I'm sorry. So number of payments, again, it's annually. So he's doing it for 15 years and it's compounded annually. So 15. He's earning the 9%. Great. Present value, he started at 0. And then now he's going to put $2,000 in. And P/Y is payments per year. So he is doing it just 1 year. Okay, so let's figure out our future values. We're going to clear that out. So he's just doing a one time a year for 15 years, $2,000. Okay, so we're going to go second solve, and that shows that he has $58,721 in his account. 58,721. 58,721. And let's take out that decimal because pennies count plus 8.83. Okay. Now he didn't put any more money into it, but he let it grow for the next 5 years. Okay. So we're going to go back in. We're going to change the present value to 58,721.83. Oops. Oops, I scooped that up. 58,721.83. He is number of payments is only going to be 5 because we're doing 5 years. Still getting the 9%. He's not going to put any more money into it. And everything else looks fine. We just need to get rid of that future value. Okay, so we're going to go alpha solve. And so now he has 90,350.81. 90,350.81. So that's at the end of 30 years of working, even though he hadn't invested the first 10. So does Patty or Frank have more money? So Patty wins. She has 103,000. She had time on her side. She invested early and then chose to not do it later, whereas he waited 10 years, then started investing. And again, that goes along with what I had told you all about kind of how my parents waited till they were 55 to start getting things in. Okay. Construct a table. Construct a table showing the value amount with $100 deposits on every month for a single year that gains 4%. Determine how the final accounts interest. Okay, so if you did 1 month, you had $100 in that month, and that earned 4%. So let's clear out of this. So we did 100 times 1.04. And the reason I do a 1 out there is because I want to know what my value is currently. So that gets to 104. So second month, we're talking about 104. And again, I'm going to take that 104 and I'm going to multiply it times the 1.04. So 104 times 1.04. So 108.16. And then if I keep going, 108.16 times 1.04. So that gives me 112.49. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so they just wanted a table. I was doing this based if you just did $100 and watched a compound. So I'm off on what I'm doing. But let's see. Construct a table. Well, let's not even construct a table. Let's just go with on our calculator. So let's go to apps, finance, Tvm Solver. All right, so let's see what this question says. Construct a table showing the amount of an account with $100 deposits on the first of every month for a year that gains 4% annually. Oh, I understand this now. All right, so you have this. So then this becomes 204. I'm going back to the calculator and just clearing out of this. All right, so now you have 204 times the 1.04. So that means you get 212. So then this one will become 312. What was it? It was 312.16 because I'm adding the $100. And I'm going to multiply that by 1.04. And I'm going to add $100 to it. So that becomes, oops, I messed up, 312.16 times 1.04. So it becomes 324. Add $100 to that because your deposit. So 424.65. After your fifth month, go back to the calculator. So it becomes 42465 times the 1.04, and then we'll add 100 to that value. So it becomes 541.64, 54164. So technically, you have basically put in $500, and because your $500 each time you do it is going to earn interest. So after 5 months, you've earned $41.64. So we would continue that. So what we have to remember is once we have that, then we have to add the 100 because we do that each month, and then we've already accounted for that for the following month. So that's how you would construct a table for that kind of stuff. So, you know, in 5 months you made $41.64. Some people say, oh, that's not really that much. Well, if you were to do this for 20 years, that is going to be worth a lot of money. Basically, if you did 20 years at $100 each month, that's 12 times 20. 12 times 20 is going to give you 240,000 you put in, and my gosh, 240,000 is really going to take off um, over time. So cool stuff. Good stuff. Hope you all are well. I hope this helps. I will make another video for the next page. I'm not there yet, but I will make that. Hopefully, I have it in there for you for tomorrow. Take care of one another. Bye bye.